remember the day I realized I had been branded just a teller, like I was some insignificant cog in the machine, and I swore then and there I would prove them all wrong. I was only 21, fresh out of college, standing behind the counter of a small local bank, feeling the weight of every pair of eyes on me, judging, dismissing, underestimating. People saw me as just a girl in a uniform, a face to handle their deposits, not as someone capable of daring to dream bigger. But inside, I knew I had a fire that refused to be snuffed out. Every day, I listened to whispers, the managers doubting my ambition, the colleagues sneering that I'd stay in this role forever. I felt the sting of being underestimated, but it only fueled my resolve. I worked late nights, poring over financial reports, studying every book I could find on investments and market strategies, all in secret because I knew pushing too hard too soon would get me labeled as a troublemaker. My secret was simple. I was learning how to buy the entire branch from the inside out. I started small, secretly saving every cent I could, investing in stocks I knew were undervalued, and secretly taking courses online when no one was watching. I was building a quiet empire within a quiet corner of the banking world. One evening, after hours, I sat at my desk, counting the small gains I'd made, enough to buy a controlling interest in the branch if I played my cards right. I remember the sensation of my heartbeat pounding in my ears, the taste of cold coffee on my tongue, every nerve alive with anticipation and fear. I knew that if I pushed just a little further, I could turn the tide. So I devised a plan. An intricate web of negotiations, alliances, and subtle manipulations. I approached the right people, those who crave change, those frustrated with the old guard, and I played each of them like a finely tuned instrument. I used my knowledge, my ambition, my relentless drive to outsmart them all. When the day finally came that I bought my first share of the branch, I felt an explosion of pride and defiance. I watched as the old managers, the ones who had dismissed me, realized I was no longer just the girl at the counter. I was now the owner, the master of my destiny. That moment, when I took control, changed everything. It was then I understood that the true power was in holding the reins, in rewriting the story they thought was already written for me. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. My story didn't end there. It was only the beginning of my fight to shatter every glass ceiling, to show that underestimating a woman with a plan is always a mistake. I took that same fire into the boardrooms, into negotiations, into my relentless pursuit of success. Because when they called me just a teller, I knew I had already begun to buy the whole branch, and soon I would own the entire skyline. Stay tuned for more of Helena's story, where ambition, cunning, and resilience turn ordinary women into unstoppable forces. Oh, loving how that sounds so far. Spread some beers and taking good care of yourself. Costuming ones or things like that. You're gonna hear that buzzing everything you turn on tonight because something's back up. And what a better place to lead our girls than figure out how to listen to productivity in the middle of an insomnia.